Hello and welcome to my channel. So today I'll do unboxing of this amazing electric bicycle by Fifth Wheel Torrent 2FT. The 2FT stands for the fat tires, and this is a Torrent 2 model. The Torrent 1 you can check in description. It's a mountain electric bicycle. This one is step through. Should be a very nice, amazing bicycle. So let's open up, do assembly, see all the spec on this bicycle, and then we'll go for the speed test and riding experience. And here's how the bike will look once you open the box. Inside you'll find two boxes. One of the boxes is a charger, which is 3 amp charger, which is good because the battery is large. And over here in the second box you'll find looks like this one is like derailleur, looks like derailleur guard, a large pedal, some grease, and the tools. First step, I'm gonna untighten these two bolts from both sides in order to attach the handlebar. So you would need to release these two bolts, just a little bit tighten, and you would move it this way. Okay, you can tighten them up later on as well, or just right now. In the second, you would need to remove these 4 bolts before attaching the handlebar. So you would remove these 4 bolts and the bracket. The next step, you would attach the handlebar. So you bring the handlebar up and reattach the same bracket you just removed. Make sure you center. There's a measurement on the center as well. If you need, you can loosen up the display, so it will be much easier to work when you're attaching it. Next step, to attach the wheel. So you would remove these 2 ball nuts from both sides with a washer. Okay, and that would be the easiest way to attach the wheel, and you can remove from this side as well. Some people don't do it, but then it will be harder to install it, so you just remove it, then hold the handlebar with one hand and then step on the plastic. You don't need this plastic. Also remove the plastic from the brakes, the protector, brake protector spacer. Insert it and make sure you insert the brakes between the pads. And now you would reattach this washer first, and then this nut from both sides, and then you would retighten with a wrench it came with. Next step, to attach this fender, the front fender, and headlight. So headlight just hanging right over here. So you would need to remove this bolt with a nut. Also 2 bolts from both sides, you would remove it as well in order to attach the fender. And I recommend to remove this attachment first from the bike and change the position with these pieces down. This way it will be better on the bike sitting. Because otherwise you'll see there will be no space between wheel and the fenders. So here's how it will look. Basically you would attach here, right over here. I remove it and I lost the bolt. I need to find it, but this one will be up, straighting up. Original came straighting like forward, this attachment mounting, and over here mounting comes from behind and headlight from front, so you just reattach it. And I did loosen up a little bit this screw or bolt to make it loose, so I will not break it. Now I'm gonna re-firm it as well, like reattach it harder, so, and readjust the headlight the way I want to. And next will be the pedals. Here's how you attach the pedals. So you will look on this side, you'll see letter L and R, so right means for the right side. So you take to the right side and Just attach it. You can do with your fingers first, and once you tighten up, you can use a wrench to tighten up. And you don't really need to tighten up very hard, because once you start to bike, it should tighten by itself as well. So you do the same thing on another side. You can attach the derailleur guard. Most people think it's a guard for derailleur. In most electric bicycles, it's actually a guard for the motor cable. So, some bicycles have motor cable coming out on this side, so it will protect. In this particular one, going inside hidden, which is very good, because if you need to remove this free wheel, you don't have to do extra tools to have, so it will be much easier to remove it. And you just remove this bolts and reattach it. So it's pretty much holding with one bolt, and it should protect your derailleur if you drop it or if you're going off-road. And here's how the Torrent 2 FT will look, the full suspension electric bicycle with torque sensors. And I want to show you how I will look on this bicycle. I'm 5'11", so let me see on it. It's a step through, which is a great feature. And as you can see, I'm very comfortable on this bike position. You can ride it for long distance because it's very comfortable. How low the seat can go down, so I'll put it on the stand over here. So the seat can go as low as 24 inches from the ground to the top seat, and it can go up to 41.5 inches up to here, so 41.5 from the bottom up, so the tall person can easily fit this bike as well. So let's get over some specs this bike have to offer. First, the battery. The battery, it's located inside the frame, so it's 960 watt hours, which is a 20 amp battery, and all this battery from fifth wheel are UL certified. And not only, they also have a certification stick over here, which whole bicycle actually UL certified, which is great feature for some states requirement. And this is a soft tail bike. It comes with a nice front fork hydraulic suspension, which is 100mm travel, and it comes with a locking mechanism right over here, easy to lock in the fork if you need to. Also load adjuster right over here, so to make the spring softer or firmer. And it does have with a nice rear shock right over here, which is air shock, so you can adjust how much air pressure you want to put in, or you would need to have a special pump or electric pump, which can show you right away how much PSI you put in. I don't have the chart yet. I'm waiting for fifth wheel to get back to me to know how much for my weight I need to put in, because they vary, but it should be really nice actual feature. And not only look, but it should be really nice riding experience, which we're gonna check later. It comes with 750 watt motor, Bafang branded, and 85 Nm torque. It does have torque sensor right inside, and the torque sensor works very simple. When you push the pedal harder, the bike will go faster. It does come with a derailleur guard right here, so it comes with 7 Shimano gears, the tourney derailleur, Shimano freewheel, and also Shimano 7 gear shifter right over here. And Torrent 2 FT comes with a Logan hydraulic disc brakes, and the disc brakes is 180mm on the front, and it's the same on the rear wheel. It does have a thumb throttle, which can go, I believe, 20 miles on throttle only out of the box, and should go about 28 miles per hour with pedal assist, which we're gonna check everything. It comes with nice color display, I will show you later as well. 26.5 inches wide handlebar, really nice remote over here to adjust the pedal assist level, get some information, which I'm gonna show you as well. It comes with a bright headlight, front and reflector light, but the tail light, it's right here, but it's not integrated, So to turn it on, there is a on and on switch on the bottom. Very nice rock, which is designed up to 25 kilo or 55 pounds. Torrent 2FT come with metal fenders on the front and the rear. The tires are by Kendra, and it's a Crusade, which has a puncture resistance tire casting, which is 33 casting wire brand. But again, I would recommend to put some slime or flat out in them if you're planning to ride off-road. But I do have the same tires on many other bicycles which perform really good, and you can go up to 30 psi on these tires to put in. Attached already. If you're planning to ride off-road, you might want to remove them, but again, it's a good safety feature riding at night. So let's turn on the bike. So to turn on, you press this button right in the middle. The display says colorful, very clear on the bright sun or in the shade at night. To turn on light, it's very simple. Just press this button and it will turn on, and then automatically the display will get darker, because usually you use it during the night, and you will see a small logo of the headlight. And here's a headlight, so it's pretty bright. To turn it off, you just press again, it will turn off. Over here, plus sign, it's increase pedal assist level. It only comes with 3 pedal assist level, and that's all you need actually with a torque sensor. And then information, when you press on it, it will change with all this information from average speed, miles, and some amp, miles, trip, and odometer reading. So it gives you some information. To go in the settings, you press plus and minus at the same time, but I didn't touch the settings yet because I want to show you how the bike performs right out of the box. Maybe later on in the video, next video, I'll create, if I can make adjustment to increase the speed for the throttle only. And the handlebar is really comfortable to hold. It's rubbish with some rest on the side, and the throttle right over here. So make sure you turn off the bike if you are not riding, or press to the 0. So this way the throttle actually still working even with a 0. So make sure you always turn it off when you are not using, because it is dangerous, because when you touch the throttle it can get crazy. So here's the throttle, which activates right away from 0 stop to up to the miles. We're gonna test it out. The shifter right here, very easy, close to your holding, so when you're riding, everything located really nicely. And same on this side, you can easily switch pedal assist level. But I like the torque sensor, which I'm gonna talk to you about this later on in the video when I'm riding, how to switch, and display can be moved up and down. So everything is adjustable on this bike as well, so it should be real nice for riding. Okay, let's go see how the bicycle actually perform. We'll test its speed, also with a throttle only, with pedal assist. We'll test it braking, see how actually experience riding is good. I only rode 1 mile on this bike, so far I'm happy. But again, let's go together for the first time to see if it can climb the hill as well. I think I'll take it to the hill today as well, and you'll see everything in the video. So I get to this point where I usually test the bicycles, and now we'll go with throttle only from complete stop. Okay, to see what's the top speed on the throttle only, and I weigh 215 pounds, maybe a little bit more now with the equipment. So it's going about 19 on GPS and 20 on GPS and 20 and a half on display, which is very accurate information. Actually 21 on, it was hitting like 21 on GPS, and I can feel the braking from the controller. So basically I don't even have to continue. So there is a cutoff switch. So maybe in the next video I'll need to figure out if I can adjust the throttle to go up to the top speed as well, because the Bafang 750 should go easily 28 miles an hour on throttle only, unless there's some limiter. And now we're gonna try to do speed test with I'll go to the pedal assist level 3 with pedaling. This one is need a lot of torque in order to pedal because it's come with torque sensor. It works a little bit different, which I will explain to you later on. So let's go, and I'll drop to the gear number 7 and see how fast. Wow, it's actually nice acceleration. 22 on display, 24 on GPS, 25, 26, 27, 28, and then I can feel a little bit cut off. Yeah, this cut off. So 28 miles an hour based on GPS, and 28 and a half on the display, and it's showing me that the top speed was 28 and 6. You can see the top speed on display very clear. I'm not sure if you can see it through the camera, but display very good on the bright sun, and it's color, so you get all the information you need. I'll go, let's see, the braking. It's hydraulic brakes by Logan, which usually works very nice. I'll go to 20. Let's go actually faster. And brake. So yeah, 26 miles an hour should be fine. Wow. Huh. It's left a nice mark on the ground, burning mark. I don't like to ruin the tires, but for one time nothing happens. Really nice braking on this bike, which should be really good for off-road. And I didn't even push hard because they're very soft to push on, so very nice braking. I didn't adjust anything on this bike other than handlebar, brakes. I didn't adjust the brakes, but only leveler. And see, let's check it out if I can ride this bicycle just with no power. Right now I put on the pedal assist 0 and riding as a regular bicycle. It's a little bit harder. I'm on 9 miles an hour, so I would drop the gear number 4. There is enough gear to switch, so it will be much easier to pedal. And yeah, 9 miles, 10 miles an hour, and based on GPS you can easily pedal it. It does give you as normal like kind of experience like on any flat tire bikes, some resistance, but I didn't put as much pressure in the tires on this one in particular today. I think I put like 17 on the front, 20 on the back. So if you put higher, it will be much easier to pedal without power at all. And I'm still pedaling without power, but let's switch to level 1 and let's talk about torque sensor. That's something really nice for many people who wants to transition from regular bicycle to electric bicycle. And I'm on level 1 right now. It's softer, smooth riding. There's no jerking like with cadence sensor sometimes, not always, but sometimes some bikes are powerful, they just give you crazy start. With this one, very smooth. And the good about torque sensor, if you just pedal like this softly, it will not activate the motor, but if you push on the pedals, it will activate the motor. That's the biggest difference, and it's very good for people who want to exercise or who wants to ride as traditional bike. And sometimes it's not as good for people who has knee problems or for people who has health conditions who wants to be give you less exercise. But for this purpose you have a throttle. With throttle it can always help you to ride. The throttle is very responsive and it's very like nice pulling power, provide you up to 20 miles easily. So this bike can fit anybody, I guess. The seats can go as low as 34 inches, as I said before. The weight of this bike, 79 pounds, and it's a label on the bike says The maximum capacity of this bike 400 pounds, which is really good, and I weigh 215, so I'm kind of in the middle, so two people like me can ride this bicycle. And it feels really solid. Actually, riding this bike, it does feel like solid, very stable on the road. Like I know some bicycle like wheel will go right to the left. This one really solid, nice. And the suspension, as I already showed, the front fork works good, and the rear one I'm gonna show you as well. It's actually not bad at all. It's a really nice. The rear one makes a really actually riding experience like Cadillac, very smooth and gentle. It's you don't really experience on the hardtail bike. Even you put the suspension post, it will not be the same. And now I will take it for hill test to see if it can climb the hills on throttle only. One of the steep hill around my area, and I'll ride there on this bike. It's about 2.5 miles ride, and again it's actually fun to ride. That's why I didn't really did any adjustment on this bike. I just want to sit and try it because wow, it's very smooth ride on this bike. And the position is great, the handles are really soft, so there's a lot of things to love about this bike, and I think it's gonna be one of the best seller from Fifth Wheel as well, because there's many bikes like similar, maybe most of them didn't have the same feature as this bike. It comes with Bafang motor, everything almost branded. So the soft tail makes a big difference as well, makes this ride really nice, and you can adjust it as well to put more pressure, like air pressure or less, but feels really solid as it is right now, right out of the box. I think I'm gonna play with this to put more air pressure later on, also to check if the pedal assist level can if you can change the speed level for the throttle only. I think 20 miles it's actually more than enough for off-road, but if you're commuter and you want faster without pedaling, then you might want to go with 28, and I think this bike can perform, as you could see, 28 easily. It was over here gonna be a little bit jump. Okay, it's very soft. I'm definitely will take this bike off-road to see how it will perform, because it's really nice feeling. It's you're sitting actually kind of high because 26 inches tires, and also the pedaling is really soft. The position, some bicycles you want to use throttle only, with this bicycle you want to pedal because it gives you a real nice pedaling position and comfortability. Alright, so again closer to the hill. I have 91% on the battery. I rode already 5.5 miles, mostly pedaling, like 50% pedaling, 50% throttle testing. So actually for the first 2 charges on the battery, usually the performance might be not as great. So it's recommended to ride it for at least 2-3 charges on the battery, recharge it, then the battery will perform much better. As well, make sure you charge up to 100% for the first few times, and we'll use throttle only on this mountain to see if it can perform. If it doesn't perform all the way to the top, I will not be disappointed, because I did test over here a few other bicycles, and 26x4 usually with 750 motor does not make it to the top. That's normal with my experiments. So let's go. So throttle only, 10 miles an hour, 12, 14, 15. Okay, I'll go with GPS speed. Even it's very accurate actually. So it's about 12, 9, 8, 7. So I think last time I tested hardtail bike with the same type of motor, 750 Bafang. I think it's made half with 26 inches. When it's 20 inches tires, it can go all the way up, but I noticed there's a big difference. Even as this one is like 880 Nm torque, now it's 5 miles an hour. It's not climbing up to the hill the same as 20-inch, and it's just physics. But so far, actually, it's still pulling me up, and I will continue sit on this bike as long as it's keep pulling me. Now it's 4 miles an hour, but it's still motors keep pulling. So I think this one already outperforms the other 750 motors. So looks like it's some motors start to cry, I guess. But surprisingly, it's still pulling 5 miles an hour, which better than I expect. I thought it's gonna probably stop on the middle of the road somewhere. So it's performed as good as some of them 1000 watt motors. That's why all these numbers doesn't really matter sometimes when you check the bicycle online and look on this new meters torque. It's not really always accurate, and the numbers on the motor always sometimes not accurate. Some company put less numbers on the motor, but performance actually higher, or opposite, depend on the companies and if they're selling. So this one, 750 watt motor by Bafang, perform really good. And now let's go downhill to see how the brakes perform. I'm pretty sure they're gonna stop as supposed to be, going about 23 miles, 26, 29, 32, and then stop. They did brake, but a lot of tire burning, and that smells normal because that's completely normal. That's normal for harder to brake when you're going downhill. 32 miles an hour, that's kind of fast. And let's see what's the top speed I made on this bike so far. 33 miles an hour downhill, and it stopped. And all I do is to check not only what's the distance between starting point and ending point. I don't really care because it's vary from person to person. Doesn't matter how good the brakes are, they will be always different. So I check only to see if the wheel can be locked by the brakes. So basically if they can stop completely if I want to. The rear one, you don't have to do it because it will not actually make it better stopping. Usually not hard to stop because it will just burn your tires, but I do both. If you do both braking, it will create better stopping power. Again, this bike performed pretty good. And let's go for a ride and talk about this bike. So I'm really surprised that this bike not only comfortable to ride, have a large battery, it's commuter, which is integrated battery with not that many cables outside, only front. You can see everything is integrated inside the frame. The color is nice, design is very nice of this bike as well. They're very similar to many other probably fat tire bikes, but really smooth, soft ride. But also there's only few brands right now on the market, and all of them would be higher priced because it comes with torque sensor. The torque sensor are not that expensive. I think it's only between $100 to $200 difference versus two cousin sensors. But you are getting the bike with a lot of branded parts, which easy to replace as needed. You can always find them later on. The company may be new, you can hear, but the brand's part on this bike already well known, like Bafang, Logan brakes. The seat looks really nice, so tires is good, so everything like branded. So you will not really have problems later on in case the company is not there or whatever. It will be easy to fix the bike later on if you need to. But they do come with 2 years warranty, which is really nice, and not every company offer it for the price you're paying for this bike. I think it's fantastic price. Again, check link in description for extra discount. And the bike perform really good for 750 watt motor, and the better even than many other I tested in the past. I would say will be probably my most favorite bike out of 26 inches fat tires bike, probably to ride off-road, because not only it's provide a lot of torque, but also it comes with torque sensor, which really good for workout, and that's what I need actually to ride with experience, like almost like you're riding regular bike. This bike takes all these bumps really solid, and the throttle located really nice on the right side, thumb throttle, and it's accelerate pretty quick. But again, it might have an option to release this speed limit to top speed, because I can feel when even going 28 miles, that's a top speed for this bike, 28 miles per hour, and it's just turn off the motor. That happens with many bikes, but it doesn't mean this bike can do more. It looks like the motor can do more, but they restricted for few reasons. First is the regulation, the way they bring the bike in, the way they insure the bike, and if you change the settings, it may void your warranty as well, because it comes with 2 years warranty, and if you do some changes, modification, you might damage controller, motor, or anything, because they do test before, and this one UL certified, so it means it went through all this testing for UL certification, and the bike rides smooth, no jerky ride, nice, no issue, no error messages so far, and I rode about 8 miles, 0.2, and the battery I have left 83% so far, but it's showing me full charge, full battery. Again, this number may be not as accurate for the first time, and you might get better mileage after you're riding this bike. So I noticed, like when you ride over 50 miles, the battery lasts longer, the motor become more powerful and better performance, and that's why many YouTubers do review, and I do the same way usually. The first video when it's come out, all the spec just numbers, but in reality after 50 or 100 miles riding, you'll feel really if there any issue with the bike. You'll see if there any slow down, how the battery life and so on, because you're supposed to get improvement with the battery, motor performance after 50 or 100 miles running it. All the lubrication come out from the fork, like so everything like turn up. You're gonna really love it after 100 miles or hate it, depending on the brand or bike you buy. This one I have a very good feeling I'm gonna love it the more I ride it, because the position is really nice. It's not make me tired. My feet actually feels really good on this bike, and hands very good, so it's very comfortable to hold it. My hands happy, there's no fatigue because the rest and the position I have. It's more like commuter bike. At the same time you can take it off-road any way you want to, so you can keep it for different purposes, and it should be very great as a cruiser bike or off-road bike, as I said before. Anyways guys, and I hope you like this video, and if you do like this video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to my channel, follow for the next video, because I'm gonna make another video later on off-road to see how the bike will ride, because so far it's one of the smoothest ride I got on a regular road, and the suspension, it does makes big difference on this bike versus some other one. It's not as great, but this bike comes fully loaded with a lot of safety features. and thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.